Welcome to my channel. Today we will see our next tutorial in VBA exercises. We will open this exercise file. From here we will open the file salesfiscalyear.xlsm. So we will click the Alt F11 to get its editor window. From this project sales fiscal year, right click and we will insert a user form. You can get the toolbox as well along with the user form. If you can't find the toolbox, you can get it from the view menu from here. Just select the user form. We will name this user form as, double click the name, FRM. FRM is the prefix for the user form. FRM generate reports. Enter. In the caption, double click it. We'll name it as generate space reports in the simple English. Also, we will change the height and the width. Height, double click it and we'll change this to 300. Also width 400. Now click the user form. We will add a label. Select the label. We'll add the label here. Right, we will put the caption to this label, start date. Hold on, enter. We are not going to change the label name. It will be as it is, label 1. We will change the auto size to true. We will double click the auto size. It will set up to true. In the end of the properties, the word wrap, we will double click it and we will set this to false. Right. Now we will copy one more label from the start label. Here the label name will be label 2. We are not going to change it here. In the caption, we will double click it and we will change the caption to end date. Ending with a colon. We will enter. Right. Select the user form. We will get a text box here. Select the text box and we will apply here. In the name, double click the name. We are going to name this text box as with the prefix txt start date. Txt is the prefix for the text box. Enter. We will copy this text box for the end date as well. Double click the name, txt end date. Right. Now we will click the user form and we will take a combo box here. We will name this combo box as CBO. CBO is the prefix for the combo box. So CBO month. Enter. We will copy this label to here. We will name this as LBL. LBL is the prefix for the label. LBL month. Enter. In the caption, we can write the caption for which month. Which month we are going to select from the combo box. Now we will select a frame. We will apply here. We will copy this frame. Select the first frame and we will name this, double click it and FRA. FRA is the prefix for the frame. FRA period. So caption will be period. This is the period frame. Select the second frame. Double click the name. FRA prefix. FRA sales. So the caption will be sales. Right. So we created 2 frames. Inside the frames, we will get the tick boxes. Select the tick boxes. Each frame will contain 3 option buttons here. We will copy that. Just select and drag. Then we will copy this option button to the sales frame as well. Here also we need 3 option button. Now we will select the first option button from the period frame. We will name this as OPT. OPT is the prefix for the option button. OPT month. In the caption, we will name this as month. Enter. Second option button. Double click the name with the prefix OPT or caption or. The third option button, select it. Double click the name and name it OPT other. The caption, double click it, other. Same as in the sales frame, we have 3 option buttons. Select the first option button, double click the name with the prefix OPT, salesperson. Enter. The caption will be sales space person as simple English. Enter. Select the second option button. Name this as OPT model. Enter. Caption model. Also the third option button, double click the name with the prefix OPT, OPT classification. Right, we will enter. In the caption, we will write classification. Alright, from the option buttons. Now we will take the command button. We'll apply here. Okay, we will name this as CMD. CMD is the prefix for the command button. CMD display. In the caption, we will write display. This is the display button. We will set this display command button as default. Double click the default. It will change to row. Just click away from the display command button. Just click in the user form. You can see this default command button. The outline is in black color. In a user form, we can create only one default command button. Now select this and copy one more command button. In the name, double click it, CMD with the prefix CMD, cancel. In the caption, we will name this cancel. This is the cancel command button. If this is a cancel command button in the properties, we will double click the cancel property and we will set this to row. Right. Now all buttons created here. Now we will align them. Just select this period frame and the label start date and end date. From the format, align left. Just select these 2 command buttons and the combo box. Format, align right. Now we will select these 2 frames and the display command button. Format, align tops right. Also from this frame period, we will select these 3 option button. From the format, align left, and also from format menu, vertical spacing, make equal. Do the same to the option button which is in the sales frame. Align left, vertically spacing make equal. Right. Now the alignments has been done. We will save this. Now we are going to write the coding for the each buttons. You can double click the user form anywhere here or right click in the user form. Select view code. You will get into the editor's window of this user form. Now the click event is selected for this user form. You can see in the object drop down here the combo box CBO month, command buttons, frame, label, option buttons, text boxes and the user forms are here, which we created these buttons. Also, the right side drop down in the procedure, you can see these procedures are here. Now we need a procedure for this user form object is the initialize procedure. Now we don't need this, we will delete this. Now we took the user form initialize procedure. Here we are going to write the code to get the months in the combo box drop down. This one we are going to use within the with and with statement. So with CBO month, enter, press tab key dot add item. So when you start to type the add item in the drop down, just select this by clicking the tab key, space, within double quotes. We are going to add the months in the drop down of this combo box. Jan. Close the double quotes and enter. Same like I'm going to write add the all months in this drop down. Okay. The all months are here, January to December. Now enter and shift tab key. We will close the with statement, end with. Now we will compile this and save it. Now we can check this in the user form. Press F5 key to get the user form. Here you can see in the combo box drop down, the months are added here. Click X to close this. Select the combo box and from the properties window, we will add the Jan month as default. So select the text here, type Jan, enter. Then the January month will be default in the combo box. Also in the list rows, we will type 12. So 12 months will be in the drop down altogether. Now click the user form, press F5 key. Now you can see all months in the drop down. Now close it, double click the user form. We are in the editor's window of the user form. Also after the end with, press enter. Here CBO month dot visible is equal to false, enter. LBL month dot visible is equal to false. Right. It means when you open the user form, the combo box and the label month will be invisible. You can see it. Compile. Click F5. See, it is invisible. Combo box and the label of it is invisible. Right. Cursor in the end of the ends up and enter a couple of times. Now from the object here, combo box, command button, frame, label, classification, text boxes, user forms are here. Next we are going to take the command button of cancel. Now the click event for the cancel is created. Press tab key. Here we will write unload space me. When you click the cancel button, it will be cancelled. Now you can check this, compile this and press F5 key. Now you can click the cancel button. No need to click the X. Now click cancel. It is cancelled. Right. Double click the user form. Again, we will take the command button, command display. The click event is created automatically as default. Now here, press tab key. Now here we will write me.hide. It means when you click the command button, it will be hide and the reports will be generated after we write the coding for the everything. Now we will add the codings from the file, from insert menu, from file, from the same directory. We will add the click and change events. Now the all procedures added from this file. Here you can see the cancel and display button, click events already explained. We will assign variables, public sales, comma, period as string. So we declare two public variables here, sales and period. So the sales person is assigned to the value of the variable sales. So when you click the options classification is assigned to the value of the variable sales. Also when you click the model is assigned to the value of the variable sales. Right. When you click the option button which is in the period frame, option all will be assigned to the value of the variable period. Also, when you click the month option, the month will be assigned to the value of the variable period. This is the click event for the option month option button. And also we have the change event for the option month button. When you click the month option button, then you have to select the month from the combo box in the drop down. So using if else and if statement, if option month is equal to true, it means if we selected the option month, then CBO month dot visible is true. CBO month and LBL month dot visible is true. Else CBO month dot visible is false. Also the label month visible is equal to false. This is the option button for other click event. When you select the other option, it will assign to the value of the variable period. Also we have the change event for the option other. If you click the option other, if it is true, it means then the text start date dot enable is equal to true. Also txt end date enable is equal to true. Else both are false. If you click the other button, text start date and end date will be enabled, otherwise it will be disabled. Now compile this and save this. Now we will go to the user form. We will select the text start date. From the enable property, we will set this to false. Also for the text end date, we will set this enable false. Now we will move to the Excel window. Here we will record two different macros to create the pivot table and to set the fields. Here I have the macro button in the customize status bar. If you don't have it, right click the customize status bar and select this. or else you can get it from the developer menu, and you can click the record macro as well. Just we'll click in one of the cell from this data range, except this total. Now I am going to record the macro. We will name this macro as create pivot table in this workbook. Now I am moving to the insert menu. In the pivot table, I will select the pivot table. Now the range is selected here automatically. The new worksheet is selected to create the pivot table. Click OK. Now I am stopping this macro recording. Right. The first macro is created to create the pivot table. You can see this. The second macro is macro name set fields. Now I am going to set the fields, drag the year and drop it in the filters and make in the columns classification in the row, selling price in the values. Right, now I will stop the macro recording. Now Alt F11, the new module 1 is created. Double click it, rename this module as double click and mod with the prefix mod seed pivot. Right, enter. This is the macro recording to create the pivot table. You can see first it is adding a seed, active workbook, then pivot caches dot create. The source type is Excel database, comma, the source data is from the first worksheet 26th August. The data range is this one from the worksheet. The version is there. This is optional. Dot create pivot table. The table destination is the seed one. It is created. The table name is, these are optional. In the set field procedure, here in the page field, it means the filter, the make in the column field, classification in the row field, and the selling price in the value field. That is data field. And sum of the selling prices in the values. Now, right click the project cells with color and insert a module. Double click the module name and name it as mod generate reports. mod generate reports is created. Here we are going to create two procedures to create pivot table and set field. So sub procedure create pivot. Enter a couple of times. Here we will declare two variables, dim destination, comma data range as range. Right. Now we will set these variables. Set destination is equal worksheets report. In the report worksheets, the range is A1. This is the destination. Also, we will set the data range is equal range open parenthesis within double quotes A1 close the double quotes, comma range then double quotes J1 close the double quotes. Also this is within the parentheses. Here close parenth dot end open parenth. We'll select Excel down, close parenth. We will close the parenth again. Now press tab key. We are going to create the pivot. active workbook dot pivot caches dot using the create method, open parenth, the source type and the source data we are going to add. The source type is Excel database. Source type colon equal source type is Excel database, comma, the source data is colon equal, the source data is equal data range, which we declare this variable. Close parenth dot create pivot table space, then you can see the table destination and table name we are going to add. The table name is optional. We'll add table name, a table destination, colon space equal table destination. We created this variable destination, comma, space, the table name is colon equal. We will create a table name by ourselves, sales pivot, within double quotes. Now we will enter this. This is the long code. So after this close parenth, space and underscore for the line continuation, enter and tab. Right. Now the pivot table is created. To compile this, source, okay, spell mistake. Right. Now we will compile this. Now we will create another procedure, set field. So procedure set field. Here we will declare a variable table as pivot table. We will set this variable table assigned by worksheets of reports dot pivot table. What is the pivot table? Sales pivot. This is assigned to the variable table. Now enter a couple of times and tab key. Here within the with and with statement, we'll use with table enter tab dot pivot fields within bracket. Here we have to assign some variables in public. So here, okay, here we will assign some variables in public, page name, row name, column name, and finally data name as string. Right. These four variables declared in public as string. Now here with table dot pivot fields, we'll write page name here. We are going to select the page name in this pivot field. Close parenth dot orientation is equal to Excel page field. Right, enter. Dot pivot fields, then row name dot orientation is equal Excel row field. Enter. Dot pivot fields, column name dot orientation is equal to Excel column field dot pivot fields data name dot orientation is equal Excel data field. Enter, shift tab, end with right. Now we have the all things in the fields. Now enter. From the active workbook dot sheets reports, we are going to activate it. From the active workbook, the sheets report is activated now. The thing is, we are going to assign a number format to the data. Table dot pivot select, which is here. So we select the pivot table from the worksheet reports. The pivot tables is selected, is space, then double quotes 2 times with empty, then comma. We are selecting the Excel data only. Right. Enter. After selecting this pivot table Excel data only, it means which are assigning in the value fields, that is Excel field. We are selecting the Excel field only from the pivot table, that is pivot select. Selection dot number format is equal within double quotes this number format. This currency format will be applied to the Excel data only. Enter. Now after this activation of report sheet, we will apply a if function if the user form name is the FRM generate reports. FRM generate reports sales frame from that, from the user form generate reports. If the model is not selected from sales frame, then only we select the pivot table and the Excel data only formatted as currency. If you have selected the model from the option, then the currency will not be applied. After this, enter, shift tab, enter. Now we will compile this. Okay, we'll save this. Here we create the pivot table and the fields are set here. Before this, creating the pivot table, we will create a sub procedure called show form. Enter a couple of times. Here, tab key. What we are going to do, the user form generate reports, which is named as FRM generate reports dot show method. We are going to show method. It means the user form is going to show when we run this procedure. The user form is going to show. Otherwise, we can use the F5 function key as well. Now we will compile this. Now we will move to the user form editor window. Just we will double click this user form. Here, after the end sub, we'll add a text file from the insert menu from the same directory. The file is dates and groups. Here, few functions we are creating, the get first date function and get last date function. We are going to get the dates. So here we are defining variable sheet as worksheet and the first date and test date as date. Here we are assigning to the first date as a big number, 5 times 9, For each sheet in worksheets, we are analyzing this. The seed date is a function, the date conversion. We are converting this seed name, seed.name from the Excel workbook. We are converting this date and we are assigning this to the variable test date. If the test date is less than first date, then we are assigning the test date to the first date. Okay, finally, we are assigning this first date to the function get first date. Only thing is we can assign anything to a variable or to a function. We are assigning this first date to this function get first date. Same as this is get last date function. Last date and test date is the date variables assigned here. We are assigning the last date as 0 for each sheet in worksheets. The sheet name is converted as date and assigned to the test date variable. If test date is greater than last date, then we will assign the test date to the last date. Then we are assigning the last date to the function get last date here. Now there's another function called get dates. Here using select case branching method, select case period. Here already we assigned the variable sales and period. Also here we will assign one more variable, comma, month. Right. Also in public we will assign few more variable, public first date, comma, last date as date. Right. Select case period. From the period frame, we are assigning this as variable. If the case is month, then CBO month is assigned to the variable month, which the month is in public variable. If the case is all, the get first date function is assigned to the start date and the get last date function is assigned to end date. If the case is other, text start date, it means we are going to input the start and end date text box in the text boxes, that is assigned to start date and text end date is assigned to end date. This is to get the dates method using get date function. Also we have a procedure get group sales. We are going to assign to the each field select case branching method. The sales variable is here. If the select case is sales, the first case is salesperson. If we select the salesperson from option button, then we can assign to the page row column data field as per our requirement. If the model is selected, if the classification is selected, we can assign. Right. Now we will move to the module generate reports. Now finally we are going to add 3 more procedures to finish this. From the insert menu we will add file from the same directory. It is finished report, the text file name. Here we have 3 different procedures: grab cells, consolidate data, and finally the finished report. Right. From the grab cells procedure, the parameter is starting cell. We are assigning these variables. We are formatting this start date and assigning to this variable call date. And we are selecting the sheet and If the A2 value is not equal empty, then we are selecting this range. Here you can see. Then we are copying that selected range and we are moving to the sheet reports. I will tell you where is the reports. I will tell you in the next procedure where the reports is located. Report sheet is located. Then we are pasting the copied data in the report sheet. Then we are moving to one row down using offset from the column A. In the else statement also we have a statement to copy and paste the data. This is for the grabbing the cells. In the consolidate data, this procedure has parameter this month. Here we are adding a sheet here and we are naming the sheets to reports. Here we are going to put the grab cells details, the sheet reports. Then using if statement from the user form, from the frame period, if we select the month, then what are the cases here? We select January, then this month will be 1 like that. And then another case, select case statement. If the case is month, we are comparing in each we are naming the active sheet name as compare. We are converting this date and we are naming this compare again. Then if the compare is equal to this month, what are the procedures here to consolidate the data? Then we are calling the grab cells procedures here. If the case is all, what's the procedures and calling the grab cell. Also, if the case is other, what's the procedures to consolidate the data. Finally, the finished report procedure contain workbooks.open. We are open a workbook called reports.xlsx. File location is this workbook.path. After opening this workbook called reports.xlsx, for each sheet in worksheets from this workbook reports, we are selecting the sheets and select the all cells and we are clearing the selection and we are selecting the range A1 from the open this workbook. Right. Then from the workbook sales with Scalia, we are activating that and we are selecting the report sheet from that workbook, this workbook. When we are selecting the cells and copy them and we are moving to reports.xlsx workbook, we are activating that. We are pasting that copied data here. Then we are activating the workbook sales fiscalia and active window dot selected sheets is deleted from the sales fiscalia, which is the report sheet. So that is a temporarily sheet in the sales fiscalia. After that, we are moving to the reports.xlsx workbook. After that, from the reports workbook, we are calling the procedures create, pivot and set field. They are only the pivot table is created and the fields are set up. Right. Now, we'll compare this start date and end date. Okay, we'll check that. Here these variables are start date, not the first date and last date. That is in the function. Those variables assigned in the get first date and get last date function. So this is the start date. This is the end date. Right. Now it will be fine. Now we will compile this, right, save this. Okay. Now we will move to the command display click one button. After this one, we will call the procedures get dates function. We are calling the get date function and get grouped sales procedure. Then consolidate data procedure space for the parameter this month. We will put the argument as month here. Then finally, finish report procedure. Within the finish report procedure, the pivot, create pivot and set field procedures are there. Finally, unload mean. It means after calling these procedures, it will unload me, it will cancel. All memory will be deleted and then it will be cancelled. Consolidate data, finish report and unload me. Now we will compile this, right? We'll serve this. Now we will test this user form report. From here, the shortcut is F5. And we will select the month. We will select one of the month right here. June month, this data is here. Then model from the sales frame. Then click the command button display. The data are consolidated in the reports. Then in the reports.xlsx, the pivot table is created. Then the temporary report sheet is deleted from the sales fiscal year workbook. Right. Now we will close this and don't save. One more thing we will do. In the customize quick access toolbar from more command, in the right side, we will select the sales fiscal year.xlsn. The workbook is open here. From command section, we will open the macro. From here, user form is the procedure to show the user form. We will add that and we will click the modify button and add some icons to that. Okay, we can add this icon. Okay, now we will click OK. Now you can see the show form icon is created here. Now we can click this month or we will select all here, the all data we need. Now we will select the say classification display. Now all the days will be consolidated from the sales fiscal year workbook. It will take few time because the all dates are converting. Now you can see when select the model, this is the currency format is not applied. When the select apart from the model from the sales frame, the data field is in currency format. Right. Now we will close this and don't serve. We can change any other options from this user form. Thank you for watching. We will see in the next video for the next tutorial.